This is Lysha, Homes of Key Recruitment, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome to our YouTube channel today a very old friend of mine, Clare Turpin of CONTUR. How are you?
I'm good, Lysha. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much indeed. Now, we've known each other for a very long time. We were talking about that the other day. But would you like to talk to me a little bit about how we know each other in terms of our recruitment experience? Talk to me how you got into recruitment, first of all.
Okay, firstly, so I started my career as a gym and fitness instructor. I'm from Southampton and decided then to go to Salford University and study an exercise science degree. During my time at uni, I worked at various gyms around the Manchester area, and someone actually approached me whilst teaching a class and said, "You're really bubbly, you know, you come across as a real people person. I think you'd be great in recruitment." So, you know, met with a few agencies and what have you, and then started with a graduate retail recruitment company up in Manchester. So spent many years working for them, and during which time I met Lysha. And then I went on to work for a HR consultancy, and then actually I set up on my own, and I ran a HR consultancy for about 10 years. Now, during that time, I had 2 children, and the whole reason I set up on my own was basically just have that flexibility as a working mum, because I think that's so important, that you can carry on your career and that you can do the job that you love. And you know, during that time, you know, I still went to the gym. You know, I love working out. I think it's great for like your mental health and to get you fired up, especially when you work in sort of a sales focused role anyway. But having had two daughters, you know, your figure goes a little bit, you don't feel as confident as what you did do. And I really struggled to actually find activewear that made me feel just nice going into the gym. I just felt really sort of like self-confident, and started looking around for sort of like more shapewear, I guess, more kind of sculpted, flattering, you know. I like all the kind of glammy, more glitzy kind of look. And yeah, basically started researching. Found a company in Italy which is a recycled fabric supplier, and all the fabric is made from kind of which was sort of fishing nets and plastic bottles, and everything's turned into a really high-end polyamide and elastane. And had a few samples sent to me and thought, wow, you know, this is really good stuff. At the time, didn't really think about the sustainable side of it. It was just like, wow, I just love this fabric. I've not got a design background or anything like that, but I think when you work in recruitment, you really are, you know, a networker. You go out and build relationships, and you research as well your market. So I had a look into the industry. I saw that there was like a bit of a gap there. I was really passionate about manufacturing in the UK because I don't think there's enough true British brands, and basically found it like quite a high profile manufacturers in London, and got myself in front of them there. When I turned up, they were absolutely shocked. They were like, "How are you here? Because you've got no experience." But it's just that kind of knocking on doors, turning up to meetings, basically harassing them like we do sometimes in recruitment. And got myself in front of the production manager, and she was just like, "Right, okay, where's all your technical designs?" I was like, "I've got nothing." And she was like, "Well, you know, find yourself a designer and come back to me and we'll have a chat." Expecting not to see me again, but obviously went out and found all the key people that I needed, and got myself a meeting, and she was impressed, and she was like, "You know, I think you've got a great idea, and yeah, let's start working together."
So that's a true example of the persuasiveness that recruitment allows you to be. You know, it's that engagement, it's about being convincing, and it's about having that true self-belief. But actually, like you say, it's about knocking down doors, isn't it?
Oh, and I think, you know, I think the one thing in recruitment, you know, you have to be you're such a resilient person, because, you know, we're constantly told we don't need anybody, no, we have a no budget, this, that, what have you. And it's the same in any industry. You know, people don't want to spend money, and, you know, you have to sort of keep pushing yourself out there. You have to think of what your USPs are and get yourself in front of the right people. So, you know, who is the decision maker? And that's what I did. You know, I went straight to the top, got myself in front of them, and that was that basically. And yeah, so 18 months or so in the making. Had to go through obviously all sort of patterns, sampling, lots and lots of different things. They advised me, they said, bring out one crop top, one legging. I was like, no. If I'm going in, I'm going big type of thing. Everyone told me not to, but I did. And actually it's really paid off, We've got like our first collection is like, you know, got 3 styles of leggings, 2 crops, a vest, and a new collection which is going to be coming out in July. So actually, I think being a risk taker, which again is another thing in recruitment, you have to kind of go with your gut feeling, and if you feel that it's the right decision, you go with it. And I felt it's the right decision, and I think that's what kind of put me in good stead, really.
And as we record this heading into May 2020, you've already achieved such a huge amount for the brand in what is a relatively short period of time. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the key achievements so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I first launched, I was like, oh, do you know what my dream would be to get into like Women's Health magazine. First couple of months we were in yoga, I was in women's fitness, fit and well. We've now been in women's health, which was, you know, my big thing. And but prior to that, it was the newspapers that sort of like really shocked me. The Telegraph, the Times, the Observer, everybody is sort of interested in CONTUR. Even like the Metro, which is amazing because it has like such a great kind of like, you know, target reach really. But this month's been particularly amazing because we've got into Vogue as one of their top 5 brands, which is amazing because they don't even like push active wear. Obviously, it's, you know, very, very high fashion. So to be recognized as like a, you know, one of 5 sustainable brands is absolutely fantastic. I've been in Hello magazine, and you know, quite a few celebrities have actually been sort of, you know, pictured wearing the stuff as well. And you know, we've got some really exciting projects sort of coming up and coming with some really great sort of sustainable influencers. I'm dead excited about what's going to be happening.
I mean, I've obviously been following you avidly, and obviously I've actually purchased my own.
Yes, love it, absolutely. Move back so we can see your gold.
No, black and gold girl, that's me. So I mean, obviously you can have a very famous celebrities, but Lysha is wearing your brand. There you go, you've made it now, Claire. So in terms of our,
those are the leggings that are actually in Vogue magazine.
Yeah,
so you know, you had them before they were in Vogue. And Hello, what can I say?
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is that there will be no doubt a number of people watching this who are furloughed currently, or who have actually been made redundant, and who have all the assets and attributes that you talked about. They've got ideas, they've got, you know, influence in what they've done in their past as a recruiter, they've got business ideas, and they might be sat here now thinking, you know, I've got an idea, whatever that might be. It might be health related, it might be to do with food, it might be to do with a hobby, it might be to do with an app. That, you know, what has inspired you as an entrepreneur, and what advice would you then give to those people who are maybe sat there thinking, I'm going to need to be seriously brave here?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it is being brave, but it's just following your gut feeling, and actually, what have you got to lose? You know, that's the main thing. You know what, if you start something and it doesn't work out, well, at least you've tried. You know, anyone that kind of says, oh, it doesn't work out, well, have you done it? No. And when I started up CONTUR, I was actually still doing recruitment. So, you know, yeah, you know, you can actually, you know, with those sort of initial ideas, you can do them whilst doing something else. But I mean, at the moment, if people are furloughed, or unfortunately, if they have been made redundancy, this is the time now, you know, a great opportunity. You know, I'm hearing so many sort of negative people out there, but it's all about seizing this opportunity, because you're not going to get it again. You know, put those ideas down, do your research, and, you know, what have you got to lose? Just start looking into it. There's also, you know, there's so many great opportunities out there. Sort of, you know, in Manchester, I worked with the Growth Hub, who really support startup businesses. So, you know, there's so much funding available, so much free advice. I mean, with their program that I'm on, you get X amount of hours, sort of a month, and they really talk you through everything from how to actually put your business plan together, to how to, you know, gain funding, ongoing scaling your business up. It's absolutely amazing. So there are so many free resources to help people, but also it's a case of, you know, we're so lucky now with the internet. You can kind of look at, you know, what are other people doing? What are, you know, where are the gaps? And, you know, what's good about something? I mean, when I looked at CONTUR, I was like, I really like this brand, but I don't like this bit, and I really like that brand. And it's almost like playing around with it and putting it together. But I definitely say, you know, you've got to follow through. Anybody that sort of like tries to talk you out of it, those are the people that you actually have to start cutting out of your life. You know, it's all about being around positive people, listening, kind of reading, researching, and yeah, and if you're passionate about it, you know, that will come across, and other people will see that, and people will want to help you, because, you know, everyone wants to be part of something that's positive.
No, it's absolutely true. And we've talked about mindset, haven't we? And I think it's important to you know, believe in yourself and surround yourself with people with a similar mindset to you. But you know, clearly, and I think what really comes across watching all your channels is your passion for the look that you've created, but also for the fact that you are very into fitness, and it's all about physical and mental well-being, and it's just so inspiring to watch. It really is. Before we finish, have you got any top tips for success for those who are watching?
Yeah, I mean, sort of top tips that I would always say is surround yourself by positive people. You know, that's the key thing, because there are people that will try and talk you out of things, and generally it's because they don't want you to be more successful. So follow your gut, surround yourself, find your tribe, and really surround yourself with positive people. Secondly, you know, plan, you know, always plan. And where, you know, sometimes it is you plan to fail, but you know, you'll learn by those mistakes. But always make a plan, always have a routine, always kind of stick to things like that. And, you know, I also think it's important to seek out kind of a mentor or somebody who can really kind of help you. I mean, when I started looking into CONTUR, I was on holiday actually, and I was on Google, and there was a lady, and she was like the top sports stylist. Like, she was insane. She's worked with everybody. And I was sat on the beach, and actually I'd had a couple of drinks, and I was like, oh, I'm going to email her and ask her what she thinks. And I messaged her, not expecting to hear back, and she was like, when are you back? Let's meet in London. And I met with her, and she was just like, you know, I think everything you're saying, you know, it's really, really positive. I have so many people come to me, but I like what you've got to say. And do you know what? She's been such a solid mentor for me, you know. And I think that's the thing, you know, she was the one that said to me, when you, because it's a very visual brand, she said, you know, you really need to invest in photography. And it was the best piece of advice, because actually that's why we've got in all the magazines, because of that. So listen to people who have experience. Don't try to be like a know-it-all. If you don't have that kind of expertise of skills, find somebody who will. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because people will help you. It's just how you position yourself. And you know what? Stay positive, read books, exercise, you know, that those are my key things really. So, and also, you know, there are days when you kind of have a bit of a down day and you're like, oh my god, this isn't working. But what I'll always do is I'll look back on all my achievements and what I've done, and then I'm just like, wow, you've got to keep going now. And that's the thing, you know, just keep focused.
Power to you, power to a strong woman, inspiring so many people. And I look forward to catching up in person when we can get out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for a HIIT class.
It's wonderful for you to join us today. Thank you so much, and we'll make sure
Thank you so much.
Lovely to see you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.